Hello, Human Collective. Welcome to the Upside to Grief. My name is Story, and I am your host.
And my name is Erica, and I'm your co host.
And this week we are welcoming back Leandra. Welcome back.
Welcome back.
Hello.
This week we're going to be doing one of our segments here. Leandra chose to do Grief in the Wild. So,
Yeah, grief in the wild. And remind us, what is grief in the wild? What does that look like?
Grief in the Wild is going to be those times where you are just out in public doing quote unquote normal human things and grief just hits you and you're in it. So that can look like grocery shopping and then crying in the grocery store, airports, all of the things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, Leandra, can you tell us about your grief in the wild story? Is there one that really stands out to you that's just, oh yeah, I was doing a normal thing and then all of a sudden, it came?
Definitely. I mean, obviously, there's been a few times where this happened, but one that really stands out to me, because it's been a couple of years, is when, back to school shopping, right? All the parents do it, and you're so excited, right? And I do have another child, right? So I have to do that. And so it's a very different thing, right? You're walking through the store, you're shopping, you see people with their other children and things like that, and everything's all good. And then you're just you realize where your daughter would be at this point and things of that nature, right? But you still got to celebrate what you have left, which is, my beautiful son. But it is, that's one of the times, definitely, for sure. Back to school shopping and just seeing, ads and people being excited, and all these things. And then I'm thinking about, where Annaliese would be, right? And so I would definitely say that's, one of the ones. Or even just regular grocery shopping. I see her favorite little treats, her little hot Cheetos macaroni, things like that, right? That seem to mean nothing. But yes, that would say, for me, that's one where it's man, I'll be cool. And then all of a sudden I'm oh, geez, cheese and rice.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a little bit rough. It definitely is. But, I try to think of it as being, although it's sad for me to think about all the other parents that are, you know what I mean, they're celebrating, their kids are going to high school, middle school, whatever it may be. But, it's, it's a balance there. But, also after a loss like that, it makes you very grateful and other people that don't even realize what they have type of thing. So I try not to be bitter about it. It burns, it stings.
Yeah.
It reminds me, especially we're pushing up on 4 years. And my baby was, 6th grade. She'd be going into her sophomore year now. So it's definitely, we all as girls know, a lot of stuff happens between middle school and high school. So that is definitely a grief in the wild moment. Field trips with my son, who is still here with us, it's tough. Those are definitely those moments. But I try to still, just think of, I try to remind other people how special and how, children will be children, but, soak this in. It won't last forever, even if they don't pass on you. Take these moments and treasure them.
What was the age gap between your kiddos?
So when Annaliese died, she was 11.
Mm-hmm.
Her brother was almost 3.
Okay, so
He was about 2.5,
hadn't
almost
even
3.
gone into school yet.
Yes, that's I don't like to call it an upside, but he is he has autism, level 3, very heavy, right? So it's funny because he doesn't remember her, but she loved pink and purple and space and all that stuff. So he is, even though he's a little boy, he loves some pink and purple.
I love that.
Right? It's so cute. It really is. It really is. I think he doesn't know it or whatever. And so that's kind of the silver lining, right? He doesn't feel the grief. I feel like he feels our energy. Me and Dad.
Mm-hmm.
But, no. Yeah, he's now, Leonidas is 6, Pushing's on 7. And if Annaliese was alive in August, she would be 16.
Wow.
So yeah, I mean, there was kind of a gap there anyways, but
Mhm.
like she was so excited because she was an only child forever. So she
Yeah.
was super pumped.
Mm.
She really was. She wanted a baby girl, but she didn't even care once he came. She was pumped. Like she really was. She was so excited for him.
It's so funny how kids are like,
She
they
soaked
think
it
they're
in,
gonna
dude.
choose the gender.
Yeah,
you know what I
right,
mean? They're
right.
like, no, I want a girl.
Yeah.
I want a sister.
I want a brother. I want a sister.
a brother.
No,
And
she
then it
did. She
comes out
wanted a
and you're
girl.
like,
She was salty.
what is this?
She was a little perturbed with me, and so like after
Mom,
he was
can we
born,
give
it was the
can we
cutest
give
thing.
him back?
'Cause she would be like, "Oh my gosh, like I wanted it to be a girl, but it's a boy," and I was upset and I cried when I found out. But it's cool now.
That's what she said.
Yes, I'm so serious. And this is a
That's so
lot like
cute.
me, like kind of dry, kind of very realist. Girl was funny.
Oh my gosh, I love that. It's so funny.
She was a great partner.
That's really tough though, because school is like 18 years of just the basics, you know?
Mhm.
And so that is going to be like recurring grief and
Every school year,
yeah.
It is. It's rough, and we live near high school too, so we like see all the kids and stuff like that, and like obviously I'm hyper aware of like buses and crosswalks and things
Right.
like that,
Yeah.
like very much so.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I refuse to like try to rain on other people's parade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like people that have children like around the same age and hitting these goals and all these things, like I don't want to rain on that. Annalise was gonna do great. We all knew it, but I just try to encourage people to take what you have while you have it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, because children are difficult. They're gonna be kids, but like you never know until they're gone, and those are your little people, and you're trying to
Mhm.
grow them. And I am so proud of what we did with her so far, and like her legacy is amazing. We've had because she wanted to be an astrophysicist, like we briefly discussed. She wanted to be an astrophysicist. So her hero was not celebrities and all that kind of thing. She liked scientists. So Neil deGrasse Tyson was like her man. That's her hero.
Pink and purple in space.
Pink, purple,
And
space.
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
Yes, no, I'm so serious though. You can't go wrong with that, right?
Mhm.
So like it was amazing, and then he commented and things after she passed because a lot of people were like, "What do you want? What do you want for her?" And I'm like, my daughter's not that type of young lady. And I mean, she was only 11 too. You know what I mean? She was in an in between spot. He did. I don't know who got the word to him, but he did. And he wrote her a beautiful, and I feel like we discussed this previously. He wrote her a beautiful.
Yeah, you sent it to me.
Oh my gosh, right?
Cool.
It was so
Yeah.
beautiful.
That's so special.
The point is, that was all I wanted for her because no, she wasn't like my hair has to be perfect or I have to be like no. My baby loves science and like realism in the earth and understanding it, and she was an empath like me too. Bless her soul.
Mm,
In a good way though too, like how being an empath goes.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, definitely. I love
She
how
was,
you
yeah.
described her favorite snack as what was it? Hot Cheeto macaroni.
Yeah, like I'm not a fan, but it was the bee's knees, so like you know what I mean. And at 11, she was excited too because you just put the water and slap in the microwave, so she
Mhm.
felt like she was
Easy
doing
peasy.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So
Do you ever buy it still, or was it just a her thing?
if I'm being honest, I haven't bought any more. There was one still in our pantry when she passed, and we've moved and everything, and that's still in there. And the rice and roni with like chicken and broccoli and stuff like that too.
Yeah.
Like we won't make them; they just sit in our pantry because they were her things.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I've definitely heard stories of that, like where families maybe like their parents pass away and their parents made them a food or something,
Mm-hmm.
and they just like won't eat it. They'll keep it in the freezer forever, or they just like won't touch it.
I won't
or-
do spaghetti no more. There's no
Oh,
reason. She loves
yeah.
spaghetti, and I mean, like not anything special about the spaghetti, but that was her thing.
Yeah.
I have not eaten spaghetti since she passed. Not that there's anything wrong with that, but like
Mm-hmm.
I
That's
will
just-
say that
that's
was
just the
something that
thing.
definitely changed was the cooking and the things.
Yeah. Yeah, that's definitely a huge part. You're not alone there. I've heard other people share that too. Like, I can't eat this food anymore, and I haven't, and I won't, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah, because it was their thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I feel like that's kind of like a form of grief in the wild too, because like that would seem like a regular thing to like,
It is.
somebody else like, oh yeah, eating spaghetti, but you're like, no.
No, that's a good point to make. Yeah, when you really like speak of it that way, like definitely, like it's something like I don't think too hard about, but when people talk to me about it, I'm like, well, actually, in the last 4 years, I have not eaten spaghetti, whether I made it or at a restaurant. Like, no, I just don't. And like, fortunately but unfortunately, mother has a very specific diet, as a lot of autistic children do.
Yes.
Thankfully, but not thankfully. None of those are her favorites. So that kind of helps. The irony was when she was alive, she liked spaghetti. He liked lasagna. And we all know that's like the same thing. And then like
Just
different.
different
different. Yeah.
I swear to gosh, both of these kids though, like he loved lasagna. Annaliese did not like lasagna. So whatever, fine. So be it.
Yeah.
You know how that goes. When you have kids, you just whatever it takes.
Yeah. So individual, so different, similar, but not.
Same,
No, they are.
but still different.
They really are. They're so the
Yeah.
same. Like, oh my gosh, from behind, he looks just like his sister.
So I wonder, so I'm not a mom, I don't have kids myself, but one of the things that just kind of going with like what you're sharing about like school being something that's very activating for you. You also describe yourself as a realist a lot. So what does that look like when, sometimes we imagine like the future that we're not going to get. So do you imagine that a lot, or do you think about that like with school in particular for her? And does it like make you feel good, or does it make you feel bad, or is it like all of it at once?
If I'm gonna be completely honest, when it comes to her, and like, cause she was in the 6th grade, so like all the things start happening, dances and this and that, and Annaliese was such a leadership kind of, you know what I mean, that she had that personality. And so, like, of course, like, the different clubs and things in high school and proms and things like that, yes, is very activating, especially where she passed at the 6th grade, because, that's kind of when things start kicking up, clubs, things of that nature.
Yeah.
It's really hard. And I even, as we are pushing up on her 4 years tomorrow, a couple of her, I didn't even know her friends have written me, and they're trying to do like murals, because it was kind of a more rural area.
Yeah.
So like on the clinic, they're going to do a mural, and they're going to put a park bench up and all these things. And I'm just like, wow. I mean, like, I'm thrilled, but I just found out literally 2 days ago.
That's sweet.
I love it, but yeah, it's that bittersweet. I'm sure you both understand that, right?
Yeah.
Like, you're glad someone's honoring them, but it's like, why are we even here?
Yeah.
We were
That comes
just
up so
talking about
much.
this.
No, anyone that's lost someone they love so dearly.
Grateful, but then like mad because we are in a position where we have to be grateful for this.
Right. Yeah. Like, why do I mean, like, I am so grateful people think of her, but exactly like you said, like, I'm glad y'all are thinking of her, but like, why am I even here? Exactly. So, but here we are, and I'm at least honored, because I'm sure you guys also know, how grief goes. People don't want to talk about it.
Yep.
They think they're going to hurt you worse. And I mean, like, it burns a little, but it burns worse when people just kind of try to pretend it didn't happen.
Yeah,
and I know they're trying to protect you, right?
It's way worse.
But yeah, exactly.
It's like kind of what we were talking about before we started recording. It's like, but this is literally the reality that I live in. There's nothing that you can say that is going to be anything worse than what the fuck my reality already is.
Yeah, there's nothing you're gonna say that is gonna,
You might say something stupid and it might piss me off.
Oh,
but
like at this point, when you've been through so much hurt and stuff like that, it's like, whatever, like, just acknowledge her.
Yeah.
It's tough, and I know that, like, no matter what, your daughter, your father, your child, your sister, your brother, whoever that you loved and you lose them, it really sucks when people, they're trying to protect you, right, by not bringing it up. But the truth of the matter is, like, it's bittersweet, but at least it feels good to know that somebody remembered.
Yes.
Somebody thinks about them. Somebody remembers their, whatever little quirks and things that they
Yeah.
have. And a lot of people, I understand, they're trying to be protective of your heart and stuff. And so I try to tell all my loved ones, my friends and stuff, I'm like, I promise, even if I cry, like, I'll be happy to be crying because you acknowledged
Yeah.
Yeah.
instead of just not,
Yep.
Yeah.
basically.
You're like, I'm
Mhm.
very okay with hearing her name, and
Mhm.
like, I would love to hear a memory.
I
or
do, right?
anything
No,
like
that's
that.
such a good way to put that. Yeah, no, I really do. Like,
Yeah.
it stings, but more than anything, I'm just so happy that people are thinking of her. They're saying her name. They're remembering what she was about and what mattered to her. And then also, too, I mean, obviously the piece of, like, the way that it happened, too, right? Because that's the whole thing.
Right.
But no matter how she passed, right? Like, it just really burns. Whether it's a parent, brother, whatever you name it. It just, you understand why people try to not do that to you. And I respect that, but a lot of times, like, I'd rather cry a few tears while we discuss it because
Yeah.
it reminds me that she mattered to somebody more than just me or her dad.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If I could, like, phrase it any better, these things are kind of fuzzy and hard to say, but, like, I try to be very, this is what it is, and I can't, I don't want anyone else to ever feel this way. And it, honestly, like, at times, people are like, how do you deal with that? When your child's gone. Like, I not really sure. So the best thing I could do is just try to educate myself as far as what happened with her. And then, fortunately for me, I was already in therapy before she passed. I know a lot of people are, they feel their ways about therapy and stuff like that. But fortunately for me, I had a therapist that already knew me before, and she stayed with me ever since.
That's
and
nice.
all I want to do is just try to, like, no matter what happens, right? She's never coming back. That's unfortunately the sad part of death, right? No matter what you do, who you talk to, how you advocate, they're gone. So all you can do is try to comfort other people, try to prevent similar incidents from happening, and educate yourself the best way you can. Just like her little brother, like I was saying, he has autism, so there's a lot of course, advocation that happens with that. Like hardcore, depending on where you live, no matter what, though, you have to do that. And so I feel like Annaliese is the same way to me.
Yeah.
Like the way I advocate for her, and it's too late. Like, I didn't do anything wrong. I couldn't have prevented what happened with her. But the least I can do is, like, get deeply involved in a child safety nonprofit and educate myself. And, like, how could things like her or other children like her, because it was a different situation. But, we all know about the stop arm process, people that just fly past the bus when they're supposed to stop.
Right.
So that's something I work very deeply involved with Child Safety Network, and, just trying to educate bus drivers. And to be honest, we all know the world is what it is, right? No one's getting paid what they should be paid for. They should do, but that's a job. You know what I mean? You're watching people's kids and stuff. So let's train them better. Let's pay them better. Let's, whatever you can do to prevent it. And so that's kind of where my role is here now. And I've been with my nonprofit for a few years, so now I've kind of moved up to more of a administrative position, just because I guess, we talk about the upside to grief, right? One of the few upsides, right? It's hard to say that, right? But, like, no, I'm so with that cause. I learned how you implement change. Seriously, implementing change. And how to speak and deal with people in a way where, like, you can be heard, but you're not just, like, a frantic mess. And you can make serious change happen. And my baby's gone, but I cannot, I can prevent other people's children. I could never imagine, like, what happened to me, but even anyone else either. So that's kind of where, like, I put a lot of my passion there. And it's tough, right? Because I'm reading articles and things like that about really what's crazy. The way Annaliese passed is kind of unprecedented. You you'd be hard pressed to find something like that online. But the point is, like the stop burn practice, whatever it is, I'm all about the technology. I'm all about researching it. I don't want anyone to ever feel how I have to feel because, like, you don't worry about your children when you send them out to a bus stop. Like, when I was a kid, I rode a bus, you know, you go out there and it's kind of fun. You see your friends, you socialize and
You're
stuff
not
like
thinking
that.
about all that other stuff.
No, and especially as an 11-year-old child.
Yeah.
So, you know what I mean? It kind of sadly happened really quickly. And all I could do, being the way that I am, the way my mind works, is like, okay, so what's done is done, unfortunately. How do we make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else? How do we educate ourselves a bit? Because obviously before all this, no, I did not know. Now I am an expert.
Why would you? Yeah, no, and why would you?
No one should have to, but that's why you have people like me.
Yeah.
No, and you know, other, you know, corporations and nonprofits and things like that, because we do care about people's kids, and like nobody should be having to deal with this.
No.
Yeah.
But and it to a certain extent is a very like random, like nobody deserves that, but like I don't want to be made an example of my daughter, but at the same time, in a way, I do.
Right.
Like, does that make sense?
Oh, yeah.
Like, okay, well, then learn something from us. And not that she did anything or we did anything wrong, but, like, this is why we're trying to make things safer.
Yeah, nobody did anything wrong, but it's like, what do we do with all of this now that we're in the position that we're in? Like, what do we do with it, you know? And so...
Preventative instead of, you know, after the fact.
Yeah, and if you guys are just tuning in on this segment and you didn't watch the previous chapter before this, we kind of dive deep into what happened with Leandra's daughter and what she is doing now, today, and the changes that she's implemented into her life. So I definitely recommend going back a week.
Yeah.
Go back a week and check it out because it's super powerful.
Yeah, and thank you so much for sharing your grief in the wild story. And it's so multifaceted, but we're really glad that you came. So thank you so much for being with us today.
Yeah, thank you.
I am just totally thrilled if somebody can like hear this and realize that like they're not alone.
Yeah.
And sometimes, you know, these things happen and they're really random, and I don't want to say anyone's wrong, but your child's not wrong. You know what I mean? Things happen.
Yep.
Yeah.
Plus or not, you know what I mean? The country's a little wild right now. And I just feel like everybody needs a little grace and love and understanding.
Yeah.
And that like you're never really alone.
Yeah.
Like, you're really not. And it's a tough one. It really is. Like, to lose your child, it's rough. Especially after, like, 11 years with her. So, it is what it is. But she has a legacy that she's leaving behind. And I absolutely refuse to let that go. Her name will always be remembered. I will always be doing what I'm doing with Child Safety Network. And then, like, I mean, moving above and beyond that and I'm already at a federal level with working with like legislation and things like that. So our kids are all kept safe, whether you have them yet or in the future.
Yeah.
I love
You will not end up in my boots, hopefully. And if you do, then you have someone like me to at least help you navigate it and figure out how do you move on past that, right? Because we all know, we think like, if my child dies, I'm going to die too. And trust me, it feels like that. But you know,
we're all still here.
Isn't that so crazy, right? You know, but for the fact of the matter, and when it happens, you think like, man, if that ever happened to me, I would just absolutely die. And then you don't.
Yeah.
But it's because, you know, you have to do what you have to do. You got to make a difference. I feel like you either have a choice to advocate and be strong and try to make a difference. Or, I mean, if I didn't have another child, I might spend more time, you know, in the bed,
doing
sad and stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, I wish, right? Like, I really do. But that's what kind of makes I feel like that's what kind of keeps me powerful, right? Because I have my other kid, he has his own stuff, and so that keeps me powerful and it keeps me moving and motivated.
It does.
No, it truly does. Like I call him my tether constantly. I'm like,
Ooh,
that's
I
my
love that.
tether. That's my tether. That's my tether.
Mm.
I'm not saying like I'd be gone if he wasn't here or something, but that's something, right? Because I
Yeah,
advocate
keeps you
for
anchored.
her, and then I advocate for him too. Like,
Yeah,
I'm so
absolutely.
educated on that, you know, special needs children,
Yep.
and even with the difficulties that come along with that, like that's that upside of grief piece where it's like you're just like I don't care. You're still perfect. You're progressing, and I love you so much. And I know both of you ladies understand that piece where it's like you really truly learn to be grateful.
You do. And you figure out what that upside is for you and those around
Precisely.
Yeah. Yeah.
It
Well,
truly is.
thank you
I
so
I
much.
spent a lot of my life trying to do this, and
Yeah.
I'll keep doing it.
Good.
Good. Thank you so much.
Yeah, it was good to hear your grief in the wild story.
Yeah.
Thank you, ladies.
Don't forget to share, like, follow, comment, all of the above, and we will see you guys next week.
See you next week.
Bye.